But we begin tonight with the state primary election in Rhode Island. The polls are closed, but we might have to wait a while to get the final results. Good evening, I'm Shannon Heggie.
And I'm Mike Montecalvo. Mail ballots could lead to a delay in counting the final numbers. We'll have more on that in just a minute. The latest results from the Cranston mayoral race. Let's start with the Democratic side, and you can see here Maria Bucci with 51% of the vote, Stephen Stikos with 44%, and Adam Carbone with 4%. Remember, this is in-person voting so far, and obviously they're going to collect the mail ballots starting tomorrow.
And moving on to the Republican ticket, City Council President Michael Farina has conceded to Councilman Kenneth Hopkins. Hopkins here with 76% to Farina's 24%. Current Cranston Mayor Alan Fung has reached his term limit. We have team coverage tonight. 12 News Politics editor Ted Nesi is standing by with analysis. And
Sheena Losciuto has an update on the Democratic race for Cranston Mayor. But first, let's send it out to Target 12 investigator Steph Machado with the latest on the Republicans who are trying to keep a member of the GOP in the mayoral office. Steph?
Ken Hopkins declared victory in the primary over Mike Farina here at St. Mary's Feast Society in Cranston. His celebration mostly wrapped up here tonight, but some folks are still inside. There was quite a large crowd outside here in the parking lot around 9 o'clock. Hopkins came out to a roaring crowd. He was introduced by Mayor Alan Fung, of course, the incumbent, who is term limited and endorsed Hopkins in this race, and that really appeared to make a big difference for Republican voters in Cranston. Hopkins says this was a referendum on the Fung administration. He really campaigned as the candidate that would continue the policies of Mayor Fung. Hopkins told me he received a text from Farina conceding the race earlier tonight, and Hopkins' team believes his nearly 2,000 vote lead at this point is insurmountable, even with mail ballots yet to be counted.
There's not enough. There's not enough. It was a great victory for us tonight. I'm humbled by the people of Cranston in the way they came out to support me and my family. I think the Hopkins name really resonated, where you can be a good person and still be a politician. And they definitely came out with that message.
And Council President Farina has not commented yet on the results of the race so far. He did text me around 8:30 that his party tonight was canceled, but has not yet responded to phone calls and text messages about the results. Again, Hopkins says he did concede by text message, and Hopkins currently has a 2,000 vote lead over Farina. I did ask the Board of Elections how many of the outstanding mail ballots in Cranston are for the Republican primary, and I was told that number has not yet been tabulated. But as you heard Hopkins say, he kept saying it's not enough, there's not enough. They believe there are not enough mail ballots out there to overcome that 2,000 vote lead over Mr. Farina. Now, on the Democratic side, it's a completely different story. Way too close to call. The top two candidates very close, and my colleague Sheena Losciuto has more on what's going on that side of the race. Sheena?
Hey, Steph, I'm actually just up the street from you at Maria Bucci's party. Now, Shannon and Mike broke down the numbers for us earlier, but we actually broke it down even more. Now, Bucci's only up right now at this point by about 250 votes. Remember, of course, this is all just in-person votes that are being counted, so Stephen Stikos is just a little bit behind right now. We did catch up with both of the top candidates earlier tonight. They say they are both thinking right now it's just too early to celebrate.
It's a lot of good energy, but we are waiting for tomorrow. We're hoping it trends the same way. I believe it will. It's time for change, and I think the residents are ready.
Well, I don't know what to think, honestly. It's very close, and there are at least as many ballots that haven't been counted as have been counted. So it's up in the air.
I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow, and I really hope to be the next Democratic nominee and go to the general election.
You never know until the votes are counted.
Yeah.
Like you just heard, both people are just eager to see how this all plays out, especially with all of those mail-in ballots that still need to be counted. Board of Elections hopes to have those official results for us in the next couple of days. We're live in Cranston. I'm Sheena Losciuto, 12 News.
Thank you, Sheena. Now let's bring in 12 News politics editor Ted Nesi to help us make sense of all of the numbers we're seeing tonight.
It's been unusual because of all the mail-in ballots.
Yeah, and as we've been saying tonight, we want to be cautious about these results people are seeing on screens because we've never had an election with such a large number of ballots in Rhode Island uncounted on election night. Let's take a look so you can understand how it breaks down. So you have over 44,000 people voted in person today. By the way, a pretty strong turnout in light of there not being any big federal races. Then you had nearly 7,000 people vote early. Those haven't in person. Those haven't been counted. And 33,000 plus mail ballots, again, all still waiting to be counted. Board of Elections telling us tonight those might not be counted until Thursday. So with so many ballots outstanding, if a race is close tonight, no one should assume it's over.
Let's talk about some of the landslides that we saw tonight, Ted. The Cranston mayor. Hopkins didn't get any endorsements with the exception of Alan Fung, and he gets over 70% of the vote.
Yeah, I mean, I think Steph said it well. It's a testament to how well Alan Fung is still liked, not only in Cranston, but particularly in the Cranston Republican Party. I mean, this is a city that is really one of the last big strongholds for the Republicans in Rhode Island. The other thing I'm watching tonight is these General Assembly races. Let's take a look at Senate President Dominic Ruggiero. He was the highest profile incumbent with a race. You see there, he's leading 54 to 46, about 1,000 votes, but he's expressing confidence tonight when the mail ballots are counted, he will be the winner of that race. But a bunch of other incumbents, I'm tracking them here on my pad, have some trouble. Senator Harold Metz, Senator Billy Conley, the Finance Committee Chairman in East Providence, who's faced a lot of blowback over that Metacomet redevelopment. He, it looks like, is in deep trouble. He's losing 2-1 on today's ballot, so he's in trouble, and some reps as well. So you're seeing, overall, I'd say a good night for the progressives in the General Assembly, and a night when some incumbents maybe felt a little too comfortable.
Yeah, so we'll have to keep watching the numbers as those mail-in ballots keep getting counted.
Absolutely. It may take a couple days, but we will have the results at some point and bring them to you.
All right, Ted Nesi, as always, thank you so much.
All right, let's turn now to some of the local mayoral races. We have Democratic primaries in both Pawtucket and Warwick to tell you about. David Norton is looking to unseat incumbent Pawtucket Mayor Donald Grebian. Grebian with over 60% of the vote so far.
In Warwick, Mayor Joe Sullivan is up against Democrat Carol Callahan Bainham. Sullivan with a comfortable lead here with 63% of the vote. And in Central Falls, Joseph Morin, Maria Rivera, and Tia Restaino-Siegel are looking to fill Mayor James Dios's seat. The top two vote-getters head to November's general election.
In the race for Rhode Island's 2nd congressional district, Democrat Dylan Conley coming up short tonight for incumbent Jim Langevin's seat, which he's held now since 2001. Langevin easily winning tonight. On the Republican side, Robert Lancia beating Donald Robio. The two winners from each party will face off against each other in the November general election. And of course, we'll have the latest overnight numbers on 12 News this morning, starting at 4:30.